comments I have heard since I was a child.
You know, and it used to bother me a little bit, but it doesn't anymore. We're talking about our
foreheads.
Our foreheads.
Oh, you want to know the newest mean term that I was like, oh, this hurts?
Oh, no.
So someone's like, on TikTok, there's this like term where people are like, oh, she's got septum arms. I'm like, what the fuck is a septum arms? Like, and they're pointing at like people that maybe have like larger arms. I have, like, people have told me I have lunch lady arms. Like, when I was like,
who said that?
Because I have, it's like my biggest like fear. But like when I've been like, I've always had like a lot of skin on my arms. Like when I was like a water polo player and like upper body strength, like I have always had like just. Like I remember being a freshman in high school and I would like crop pictures to hide my arms. But anyway, septum arms, you know, there's like, she's great, butterface. It's a butterface. She's hot, septum arms.
Wow.
And I was like, that was like, because I could laugh at butterface a little bit. Like maybe that's just me being a little cocky, but like septum arms hurt. That hurt. I was like, oh,
that shit
attention.
Is okay. So that's one bone I really have to pick with TikTok now, which I'm sure you're well aware.
We should probably do the intros. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the Kings and Queens and everything in betweens to another episode of the Peasant Party Podcast. I'm your host, Charlotte Warren, and your co-host
and me
is here.
Me, Annabelle.
Annabelle's here, and she looks fantastic.
I'm here to complain about stuff. So
perfect.
One thing about
septum arms
about TikTok is you heard butterface in middle school,
yes.
which was however many years ago for us. Freaking like 20 years ago.
Jesus.
You hear butterface. And that's such a typical thing, I think. It's very broad, it's very general. It's mean, but it is general. With TikTok, we have somehow come up with little monikers, little terms for every possible insecurity. Things that no normal person would have been insecure about in the 90s, early 2000s, early 2010s. Like the hip dip thing. I mean, I think Tumblr had a big part in it where it was like, ooh, the thigh gap.
The thigh gap thing.
Ooh, da-da. But like with TikTok, like, what the fuck? What is cortisol face?
Oh, God. Like,
what is that?
Yeah.
People being like, my filtrum's too long.
Or like if you don't have like a shape here, they're like, you have fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yes.
No one's told me that. But
yes. That's crazy. I got thunder thighs in middle school. Boy, I like that.
I got that way more than like.
But it's like that's not even insulting. Like that's kind of hot.
Like I think at this point, if you call anyone mid or medium ugly, that's like calling someone hot nowadays. Like the amount of people that get called mid and medium ugly, like that are extremely attractive. I'm like, if someone calls me medium ugly, I'm like, cool. Like okay, cool.
Yeah,
like
people, but they do that to like be mean, you know. They'll call Margot Robbie mid because they're just like,
everyone gets called mid.
I only
like they're also like very interesting with like their racism stuff too. Like this kids nowadays, like I don't know if like I hope that doesn't sound like I'm not spreading some sort like not a
I'm interested
that I know of, but like they're called like kids will call black people basketball people. They're like, oh, the basketball people. I'm like, what the fuck? Like
definitely if not already a problem, to be a problem.
Or like they'll like do the colors of like the color, like, you know, the color code, like where it's like the in graphic design you have the color number colors, whatever. They have the hue, like the hue.
Yeah.
They're using those to be like, you're a blankety blank, and just to like whatever color they think they're racist. It's like it's so weird. So
they're just making up new slurs.
They're making up new slurs that also like pass through filters that aren't like bad words.
Sure.
It's very.
And so at what point does it qualify as hate speech? Is it the intention behind the word, or is it the specific word itself?
Yeah.
You know? Because it's like, to say something like that, it is definitely...
The intent is to like, yeah, but I mean, they're like little Skibbity Toilet kids. Have you heard of Skibbity Toilet?
Skibbity Toilet, I'm guessing... I think I know what it means.
Wait, it's like this. It's basically like, you know how we had Happy Tree Friends when we were a kid, and it was like this like very fucked up like kids cartoon. Skibbity Toilet is like a man with his face in the toilet that runs around chasing you, and it's very scary.
What?
You've never seen Skibbity Toilet?
No.
Oh my god.
I've never heard of it.
Please hold. We're showing you Skibbity Toilet. Okay. The amount of Skibbity Toilet. Okay, this is Skibbity Toilet. We're showing Annabelle Skibbity Toilet.
I thought skibbity referred to the noise that is made when...
Well, they go skibbity dum dum boy da da. Like this, they have a song. It's like very fucked up. I'm like, okay, oh my god, I never get freaking Skibbity toilet.
You are so online. I love it.
No, I am not online. I go outside and have friends. Is this a skibbity toilet? I think. This is skibbity toilet.
No.
Yeah, that's skibbity toilet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like a toilet that goes and like attacks the city, and then there's people that have cameras for heads.
Crazy. You know what? I kind of love chaotic shit like that.
I don't get it.
Nightmarescape stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are you into like the back rooms?
Oh,
I get
those are
really
fun.
fucked up about the back rooms because I've always had like warehouse dreams.
Oh yeah, well I like worked in a mall. Like there was a quote I read last night where it's like art is meant to to disturb the comforted and to comfort the disturbed. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like when I see something, you know, like every so often I'll come across like a painting or something or a rendering of like a weird space, and I just have that like crazy nostalgic spooky sense of like,
oh yeah,
I've been here.
I get those I've been here before feelings. It's very weird. Ugh.
Spooky.
Ugh. Fucking TikTok making me spooked, and my hair looks oily, and I have septum arms.
You don't have septum arms?
Oh my gosh, we're jumping right in. We're like all the podcast hosts are like, let's jump right in. Like 30 minutes in.
Oh my god.
We're always on schedule.
Let's jump right in.
Wait, what else? Anything else new with you though? Before we do?
No.
Oh, you want to know what I'm actually happy about? That's like kind of dating adjacent. Like Blake. Okay, so I have never thought Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds as a couple were like goals.
Oh my god! No, they are. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I want to hear your opinion because I have a
like
opinion.
I have always been like, there's always been something that felt off about them to me. Like just like how it's like he would do a post, like he would do a post.
Plantation wedding.
Well, that is one thing, but like
was bad.
He would do like a embarrassing pictures of my wife post for her birthday or something every year, but it would be like it didn't feel natural.
It was
like, it felt like
pictures of them, and then he would cut her out or whatever, and be like,
or it would be like
these.
They never felt like normal pictures. Like it was very odd. Like and there was, I don't know what it was that just felt forced. Where it's just like, ho hum, I'm just this good guy, Ryan Reynolds or something, and like, it all felt very forced and staged, and I don't know what it is. I feel the same way about them the way I felt about Chrissy Teigen. I never liked her. I always thought Chrissy Teigen, like, it's like, what did she even do? I was like, she was like just married to John Legend. I remember we were at the fucking Billboard Music Awards for my 21st birthday, which we were seat fillers for, and they had her come on as a presenter, and I was like, who the fuck is this woman? So she's just married to the guy that plays the piano, John Legend. Like,
I think I tweeted like long
she was a
ago.
cunt.
I tweeted in high school that she was going to be the next to fall, and she did.
Because she's not nice. Like, it was like, oh, like John Legend's sassy wife. It's like, this is just mean-spirited and rude. I fucking hate her.
She did do some like weird mean-spirited Twitter stuff.
She told Courtney Stodden to kill herself.
Yeah.
16 years old.
Yes, that's right.
And like Lindsay, like she's fucked up. But yeah, like Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, like people be like, oh, they're couple goals.
And
blah,
so
blah, blah.
why are they back in the news right now? Like,
well, because so Blake Lively is in this like Colleen Hoover book turned into a movie. I'm blanking on what it's called.
Okay.
And like it's a book about like a woman in a domestic violence situation.
Okay.
Like in an abusive relationship and everything. But the like trailer for the movie has all been very like, it's an artistic woman who runs a flower shop and she wears pretty dresses, and they have not, like, nothing about the trailer or anything implies that this movie is about domestic violence. If you went into this movie blind, you would think you were seeing like a Eat, Pray, Love type movie. Mm-hmm. And not only that, like, not only is it the trailer, like all of the promotion Blake Lively is doing about it, like they're doing a lot. Like she's just like, this is a movie where you can just put on your flowy skirts and blah, blah, blah. And like people are doing TikTok parodies of it where it's like, come on down, like put on your striped pajamas and head down to camp.
Oh my god!
People
are
like, this
god.
is they're doing those level of analogies.
Yeah.
Like, and so she's getting a lot of flack for it, where it's just like, what? Are you trying to bait people into seeing this traumatic movie? Like
weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
And then of course people are now be like, I'm glad that I feel less alone. That people are like, I never like there was something that always rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. This is so bad, but I remember. I think it would have been like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants era. Mm-hmm. But I remember Mom looking at her on TV and being like, do you think she's pretty? I don't think she's pretty. And then turned
Mom
around
doesn't
and
like
left
her.
the room. I was like, what the fuck?
She doesn't like
She
the mumbly
is,
voice.
wait. She's like what?
The mumbly voice. She has a mumbly voice. She really does. Like, I don't enjoy
Tearing
her as an
apart for
actor.
being a woman.
Like,
I'm sorry, but
I just don't.
but I don't. Yeah. First of all, the age difference between her and Ryan
They're
Reynolds
13 years apart.
is a lot. Sorry.
I mean, like,
that's a lot. No, I know. Look, I know it doesn't matter, but like it's more than I thought it was. So it separates them more than I thought they were like perfectly relatable, perfect match. But like being 13 years apart from someone, there are differences.
I think people in Hollywood, like, age is just such a, like, I think age is just a number, blah, 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 is like, you can't always say that. I think in Hollywood it's just different. Like, people's ages, because if you think about normal people and age gaps and stuff, like, generally most places I go, I'm gonna be surrounded by people in the same age demo. Like,
yeah.
You're kind of on the same timeline. Like, you finish college, you start a job, generally speaking, your peers at work are, like, close in age with you. You go places, most people are close in age. Like, so the idea of having this big age gap, it's like, where did you go that this happened? Like, you're not, I don't know, you're around people that are your own age if you're an average everyday person with a normal job. Like, in Hollywood, you can start working when you're a kid. It's like you can just become extremely famous and extremely popular, like, overnight. Like, your coworker, like, that's the one place you can work where your coworker can be a little kid.
Right.
Like, and they have the same, they're, like, equal to you.
Yes.
Your kid isn't equal.
You're getting paid the same, basically.
Yeah, like your kid, yeah. And so it's like, I think there's just a very, like, age just doesn't feel as real in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Once people are adults. I don't know.
How old was she when they got married? Do we know?
I think they were 27 and 40 or 28 and 41.
Ew. Ugh, gross. I don't like the millennial obsession with Deadpool and, like, Ryan Reynolds on that level. People love them interchangeably as if they are the same person. Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. They, like, they are the same identity pretty much. And I just feel like it's such, like, the same repeatable kind of, like, dry, sardonic humor. And I'm like, why do men love Ryan Reynolds?
Well, I think he's also made it so that he basically got to make it himself interchangeable. Like, he uses the same voice, the same personality and everything. And he, like,
they
basically
love
got
it.
to
They
be,
eat it up. They don't get sick of it, which is crazy because, like, Jennifer Lawrence got shamed away because she was too much in everything, and she's a fantastic actress.
I didn't like the fake relatable thing. I hate fake relatable people.
Okay, well, so that's kind of how it is with Ryan Reynolds,
I don't like
and
him,
Blake
yes.
Lively. Yeah, she did do the fake relatable thing, and then paid dearly for it. Who else did? Taylor Swift went through the same thing, character arc. They're coming back now. That's why Margot Robbie stepped away. She, like, after Barbie movie, she was like, yeah, I feel like people are gonna be pretty sick of me after this, so I'm gonna, like, produce for a while.
I think it's like, it's less like how much I see him and more of, like, the fake relatable. It's like, don't be like, stars are just like you. Just, like, own it, or just, like, shut your fucking mouth.
I think she was pushed into that space a lot. I mean, like, I think that's just kind of how it is when they want to put you in every movie with, like, a leading role, and you're getting all of these interviews and you're getting all of this. People are obsessing over you and asking you to do.
Okay, but yeah, you don't have to go on Ellen and be like, watch me dab. Pokemon go to the polls. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No, I'm just making fun of Hillary Clinton, but she was really cringy.
Watch me dab. Yeah.
It's even worse when politicians do it. They work for us, not the other way around. I'm their boss. I'm the boss of the politicians. Anyway, enough of that little tangent. Today we're discussing euphemisms. I would say that's the greater theme of the episode. Basically, of course, like, on dating apps, in dating, people sometimes say things they don't mean. And sometimes usually we're talking about that in the context of, like, overtly lying, or, like, I'm just living in, like, loopholes or something. But there's a fun way that people do it, or there's just ways that people assume are, like, widespread knowledge in terms of, like, figures of speech in the form of euphemisms. And what I mean by that, I guess I'll just start by the first two questions before we discuss euphemisms further. But two versions of the same question, and that is, are chicken nuggets some sort of a euphemism on Tinder? I never realized how many women love and passionately defend chicken nuggets until I started using this app. It feels like every third person I swipe on. Is this some sexual euphemism I'm missing, or is it one of those generic things people say, like, I like pizza? If the latter, why are chicken nuggets all of a sudden so popular? And it wasn't only chicken nuggets. Someone also asked about pickles. I cannot tell you how many girls mention pickles in their bio, and I don't understand. There has to be some meaning behind it. For background, a lot of these posts are from Illinois, but I've seen some in Louisiana too. And for the most part, I think, because I pulled these from Reddit, I've got like a few other ones that are written in, but just people asking, is this a euphemism? Is this code for something? I'm seeing something like this around a lot on the apps. What am I missing? Like, no one wants to show up on a date and then all of a sudden someone shows up in assless chaps because you missed an acronym or something.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously there are, the ones that people talk about the most, Netflix and chill. Does not mean let's, show up in your nicest Snuggie and let's have some snacks and do Netflix. It's a euphemism.
Yes.
So I do not think, by the way, that chicken nuggets or pickles are euphemisms for anything. If I were a woman, I would caution against, say, expressing any interest in anything with a phallic shape, just because perverts will do what they can with what is available. But yeah, I guess to open the floor, what are your thoughts on euphemisms, and what are some common euphemisms you see or you think are lesser known?
Okay, tell me if you remember this. Sorry, this is like this is maybe like the original euphemism. What was that show we used to watch? It was a sitcom. Lead guy was named Sean. It was a family. There's the grandpa.
Grounded for Life.
Grounded for Life. Thank you. There's an episode of Grounded for Life where the grandpa is like on a dating service online, and like I think writes in his bio something like loves T.V. and it like
loves TV. He loves TV, and
yes,
then he's like
TV. And then it ends up getting
it's a transgender woman. Yes.
Yeah.
Which
Oops.
is yeah.
But yeah, that's like I think what people are fearing for. The thing about chicken nuggets and pickles, I think people are passionate about it because they are defending the indefensible.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? Ew, pickles are disgusting. If you like pickles, that's your personality trait. One of them.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken nuggets, same thing.
Yeah, I think it's up
Dare
there
I
with
say.
pizza and tacos. Like it's just like, it's a
Pizza
nothing
and tacos
burger.
are delicious.
Yeah.
Pizza and tacos are universally beloved. I feel like pickles are like a weird one where it's like if you like pickles, you're a little fucking freak,
I remember when you were a kid and you had like a class presentation and you had like a speech you had to give and it was 2 minutes long or something, and it was basically about your hatred of pickles, and at the end you just ended with support the Annabelle Foundation and don't eat pickles.
It is amazing to me that you remember shit like this.
I remember the stupidest shit. I can't remember science or something. Like I sucked at school.
Yes, I hated pickles, and I still do to this day. They made me so sick once. Dill, I'm not joking.
I hate dill.
I swear to God on my fucking life, when I walk through HEB down the aisle where there's pickles, I don't even know there's pickles there. I just get like a weird sensation in the back of my like nose where I'm like, dill has been here. And they're in a jar of preservatives, and I still am just like, this is the pickle aisle. Ugh. What?
That's what makes them so gross to me. They're like fake.
Disgusting, yes. Fermented.
But yeah, no, I don't think those are, I think those are people trying to turn a food into a personality. But
that's definitely, I think, what that is.
Now, one food or food that is a sign of something, and usually, by the way, these are when things are put into emojis, not spelled out.
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
I got it. Yeah.
Pineapple emoji is a swinger. Now, don't confuse that though with the pineapple on pizza. If they're discussing pineapple on pizza, that is separate from swingers. Those are just people trying to like have a non-controversial controversy because they have nothing else to talk about because they have no personality.
They're really boring.
Yeah. Pineapple on pizza, that is a euphemism for I don't have a personality. Pineapple emoji, they are swingers.
Yeah.
I would also add that when it comes to emojis, the eggplant is a penis. The peach emoji is a butt. The cherries, those are boobs. Water droplets, that's cum. Are there any other ones? That become overtly sexual?
Are there?
I don't know. Those are the ones that come to mind. If they say that they are looking for a unicorn, whether that's a unicorn emoji or in general, they are not My Little Pony fans. That is a couple, a male-female couple looking for a third female to join them.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, they call it a unicorn because it's so fucking rare. Like, name one, like, woman solo who is like, I would totally do a threesome with an established couple that already has their own romantic thing going. That's like intertwined.
And this prospective third is like hot and cool and chill.
Oh yeah,
and
she's not. Yeah, she's not weird, and she will totally like
or homeless.
Yeah, and she will totally walk away from the situation
unscathed,
totally fine, and like you will never have to worry about her again. And you can also call her anytime you want, and the thing can repeat itself. Like that doesn't exist. Like side note, like every threesome that I have ever heard of happening that is 2 females, male, it's like it's never established couple that successfully finds a third.
Oh,
like a third. It's always like three kind of friends who went to a party together, and they were all going through some shit, and they all ended up in a hot tub together, and like it was 3 people that like had the same ties to one another. Like there was no hierarchy within the threesome.
Have you been approached? Have you been asked?
Yes, most like, well, I'm not really. I have one friend, like Ashley would get approached for threesomes all the time because she was just so nice. But it was also just like, Ashley, if there's a couple that's sitting in the hot tub, don't go in a hot tub with a couple. Like it's just, you get approached for that. Because she's just like, am I just a threesome fucking magnet or something? Like,
Ashley, don't go in the hot tub with the horny couple.
Never go in a hot tub with a horny couple.
She's like, da-da-da.
But like, no, the threesomes I've seen happen it's like 3 singles that like are all in a weird place in general.
Yes.
Or like, when I have heard about it happening with like established couples getting themselves into a threesome, they were already in some sort of alternate lifestyle thing already, and they went to Vegas and paid for it, or the threesome was part of some larger.
They're OnlyFans. They have an OnlyFans. A couple has an OnlyFans. That's one that I know.
Oh, I don't know anybody with an OnlyFans, but like,
you don't know any couples with an OnlyFans?
No.
What? Are you crazy?
No, I'm boring. Remember? But it was either like
you do.
I probably do. I'm too vanilla and shit. But like, or it's like the threesome was part of some larger group effort, as in like, then they had to swap out with someone else, and then they had a big orgy, and then a man jumped in. Like that is the context that I hear of threesomes happening. That's why they call it a unicorn. Like what is like. What does like a young attractive woman get out of like joining a couple? Like it's also just sketchy. Like you've got to like play by the couple's rules. Like there's 2 of them, one of them's a man. Like who the fuck would sign up for that?
Yeah, that's completely
anyway
insane.
Definitely.
Oh, and you're supposed to do that for free too. They want you to come fucking participate in this.
I mean, like if you were trying to like do some sort of escorting thing, I feel like that would be the most like lucrative deal. Is just be like, I will third for something, and you just like demand gifts and stuff. You're just like,
Genius.
Treat me like a queen. Oh, fucking
treat me like a queen.
I don't even know, but like no. Oh yeah, obviously. Oh yeah, sometimes like people don't understand what casual means, like, which is silly. I feel like casual is
what is that?
Euphemism 101, but like. So when someone says they are looking for something casual, a casual situation, I always thought most people understood that meant not serious as in they're not looking for it to become a long-term committed relationship. Yeah. Like they have cut off that there is no possibility of it. They have cut that off. That is what casual is. Now, obviously, everyone can have their own definition of casual. Sometimes it's this one-night stand. Sometimes it's this consistent thing that never becomes a relationship. But I learned that some people just hear casual and they're just like, okay, it's cool, so I'll show up in my jeans. Like serious is like, okay, we're gonna go have a date where we like do puzzles and go to a museum. That's that's serious. And then casual is we have like we go to a bar that's outside and we show up in our t-shirts. Like that is not casual.
Yeah.
So it's not casual versus formal. It is the style of relationship.
I don't think I have ever had or been able to have something casual.
I feel like neither you nor me is like a casual person.
No,
I feel like it's I'm too.
No matter what point in my life I'm in, I'm not just like but I'm not ready because I'm focusing on other things and I just want to date a bunch of people. Like, what if you really like one? What if you really like one? You're gonna be like, well, too late, too bad, wrong time in my life to meet me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, if someone says on a dating app that they want to cuddle. They do not mean regular cuddling. They mean they want to fuck. It is adult cuddling.
Yes.
Also, this acronym of GGG is good, giving, and game, which is like, I don't know, but it just means it's a strictly sexual desire. I am good, I am giving, I am game. Like, that is all I want. Let's be very, like, whatever we're doing, it's going to be physical heavy. ONS is one night stand. Yeah. DTF is down to fuck.
Is it an equal amount of women and men participating in this behavior? Because I'm like, I hear all of these and I'm like, ew, what? If a man said GGG, like, let's just have a physical interaction, surely we will both get something out of it. Like, no, what? That sounds like you're asking me for a favor for free.
Yeah, some of these feel very like Craigslist personal ads than they do dating apps. I just wrote a bunch down, like, because some of these too, it's like, I think also if you're going to be looking for something that is outside the norm, so you're not looking for a monogamous relationship or a monogamous casual thing, you and one other person, like, interacting normally, like, nothing outside the norm, and, like, there's nothing wrong with being outside the norm. I'm going to say it because everyone gets offended when I'm like, you're the exception to the rule, and you have to acknowledge that if you want that. And I think you got to not use, like, you can't bamboozle people. Like, I feel like if you actually are into poly and blah, 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 non-traditional stuff, like, you are obligated in general. Like, if you're going to use a mainstream tool to communicate with people or look for people to, you know, be, not bamboozle people into that. Like, people don't know your fucking acronyms.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
True.
Like, you have to spell those out. You have to confirm people know what they mean. Like, you know, don't be like, TV, like.
TV. True.
I don't know, but yeah.
Euphemisms.
More euphemisms. Open-minded. That does not mean that they are.
Mean?
It means sexually.
Okay.
It means I like.
Kinky.
Yes, kinky. I will do sex quickly.
Okay.
It is. I did like a TikTok video on that, and the open-minded crowd got real mad at me. They're like, "Well, why are you judging people?" I'm
Open-minded
not.
being like, is that like sexuality open-minded? You know, is it like?
It's so funny because sometimes you'll see like, I'm a Trump supporter, but I'm open-minded. It's like, so fucking funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like open-minded is kink. When we meet, sex is going to be happening shortly after we meet. Like, it's not like open-minded once we get there after many dates.
Got it.
Those things will be centric around sex. So those are like, I mean, I feel like I'm going through basic acronyms. No strings attached, NSA. Something that, like, yeah, if someone describes themselves as private or discreet, or the situation they're looking for, like, I'm a private person. I feel like discreet is pretty obvious.
You're cheating.
But, like, saying I'm a private person is, like, that is a cheating person.
You have a wife.
Yeah.
Or you are secretly gay. Like, when it's, like, a discreet, you know, like, I'm looking for a discreet interaction with a young man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not out.
Exactly.
What's it called? Cruising or whatever.
What is cruising? Okay, I don't know what that is.
Cruising, I think, is just... I could butcher this, but I think it's just, like, when you're, like, a gay man out cruising looking for sex.
Oh, yeah, there's what was it about that was, like, a... It was, like, a thing. Like, what am I... Like, there was a whole story that someone did a whole TikTok where they did the history of cruising and, like, cruising being, like, illegal or something because it was, like... It was, like, targeting... The laws against it would target gay men or something.
Yeah.
I need to look that up because I don't know. I would butcher what I heard at the top of my if I tried to say it off the top of my head. Obviously, the LGBT community, there's a lot of acronyms there. I did not write all of those down.
Yeah.
I wrote down the more generic ones that could apply to anyone of any gender, sexual orientation, as long as it's two people, two people. The thought is like two people, like someone who's looking for a two-person thing, regardless of the genders. Yeah. But yeah, what are some other, like, everything I'm saying I feel like is very, everyone knows ethical non-monogamy, E&M, and that means it's someone who's in an established, committed relationship, but they have agreed as a couple, we are allowed to stray from this and have relations with other people. So they're non-monogamous, but it's ethical.
It's so weird. It's like, hey.
So they're not cheating. But if someone says E&M, they've got an actual partner. Like, you're the side chick that is consented to.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy for a man to be like, hey, by the way, you are not my main bitch. I will never like you as much as this other girl from the jump. But do you want to, like, have a little relationship with me?
I guess, like, it would work in theory for someone who had their own E&M thing with someone else, like two E&Ms.
I see.
Where, like, it wouldn't feel offensive to the other. I have never seen an E&M thing, like, work through and become a lifelong marriage. Like,
that's insane.
I don't get it. Sorry to be not open-minded, but I just haven't.
Not open-minded.
I'm open-minded in the normal way. No, sorry. Now I'm being mean. It's okay to be open-minded.
Sure.
As long as most people think open-minded means they're open to ideas. So if you're going to use it, like, if you're on a dating app with mainstream people, don't use codes. Open-minded people. Yeah, some ones that are, like, lesser known. Obviously, there's the sex work ones. SW is sex work.
Okay.
They're not social workers.
Spicy account.
Spicy. The pepper. The pepper is like a OnlyFans link or something.
Pepper.
Spicy is, yes, they are looking for, like, I want spicy things. They don't like jalapenos. Yes. They like your naked body. Haha. Oh yeah. Some like lesser known. Anything with the term sugar. Even though there's not baby or daddy behind it, it's the same thing.
Absolutely.
One that I think is like that I didn't know is like if they say they are looking for someone who is they're looking for a gentleman or is a gentleman. This one's actually debatable. It's like a sugar daddy code.
Generous. If you're looking for a
gentleman, generous. I think those could, like, I could see people like using that.
Generous, who likes the finer things in life. I think that was my sugar baby website bio, was like, because it's like, what are you looking for? And it was like,
the finer things in life.
A gentleman who appreciates, like, woman of poise and elegance and blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to, like, put in little code words to make it sound like I am expensive, because you want them to know. That one girl, Texas Garden Fairy, I love her stuff so much.
Yeah,
but she talks a lot about that, about like, if you are trying to attract a man like that, like, you kind of have to use little code words to make them understand, because like a rich man isn't gonna be like, oh, she's a
no, they don't. You don't spell it out. Well, it's also
they're like, yeah, I have like, I'm obvious, like, that's the arrangement, duh.
Yeah, it's also like the second you start spelling things out, it's how you get in trouble, because you're kind of towing the line of things that aren't legal. Some other ones that aren't necessarily dating related, but you will see them on dating apps, because people use dating apps for different reasons. You know, you go to a new city and you're partying with your friends. You don't. You're not just looking for dates there. You don't want to just meet hot people. Maybe you need something else. If someone says they are looking for a plug, or do you know a plug? They're looking for a connection to a drug dealer, because they don't know the area.
Okay.
I need a plug. If they say any reference to skiing or the snow, unless you live next to the mountain and they're like, oh, I can take you skiing tonight, they're not taking you on a private jet to Aspen. At least not literally. That is a cocaine reference.
Yes. Of course.
Nose beer is also a cocaine reference. You don't put beer in your nose.
Yes. No.
So I don't know. People use. I don't know the other drug codes. Like, I feel like weed's just little leaves.
You know, party and play.
What the fuck is party and play?
Party and play is where you smoke meth and then you fuck, and you usually film it. That's party and play.
What is that?
P&P is what they call it.
Jesus. What is the one?
It's a subgenre. It's a subcategory of porn. You can look it up.
I'm just like MILF porn. Like, that's the one.
MILF porn.
My porn knowledge is so like.
Oh. Yeah, party and play.
What the fuck? I don't know. Like, no. How? Ugh. Yep. What's the one podcast where it's like the sex couple, the porn couple, and then they do a podcast, and then afterward they record a porno with their guest.
Yes, and I know someone who was on it, actually.
That's so disgusting.
I didn't know they did that at the end. Adam 22 and Lena the Plug.
Yeah, that is literally the concept of their podcast.
They interview them, and then they
shoot a porno with all together.
No way! I know 2 people that were on that podcast. That's
the
so
one that's
funny.
like just Adam 22 is not. He doesn't. It's the one with the 2 of them together.
Okay, got it.
Was that the one they were on?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
How do you meet these people?
Well,
tattooing, yeah.
And I tattooed her because I met her through B, who shoots the OnlyFans girls. Like, she does a lot of their photography and stuff and their photo shoots. So,
oh my gosh, I must sound like the most like judgy person sometimes.
Yes, but I also, I have my own feelings about certain like online content. Like, I think that Adam 22 and Lena the Plug chick, like, I don't like that dynamic. I don't like it. I don't approve of it. I think it's icky.
Yeah. Okay, what about like not necessarily euphemisms, but some people think they are code or unintentional euphemisms. Spontaneous. They call themselves spontaneous, or they're looking for someone spontaneous, or doesn't take themselves too seriously.
Doesn't take themselves too seriously is usually like if like you have to laugh at all my jokes, I think, or don't. I don't know. No political correctness. Basically.
I always heard it as like code of not looking for anything serious.
Okay.
It doesn't take themselves. It's not. None of this is serious. Like, whatever. Like, ooh. That's how I saw it. Some other ones, growth mindset. Do you think that's code for anything? Do you think that is synonymous with determined or hardworking? They say, I have a growth mindset. I want someone with a growth mindset. Is that synonymous, or is it mean something else?
I think that's synonymous. Why? What do you think?
Oh, that is like the most like grind culture cringe like political code in the entire world.
Yeah.
Determined, like someone I say hardworking and determined. I'm hardworking.
Totally.
Determined. I hear growth mindset. I'm like, you bought a course from an internet grifter.
Dude, people who are like, someone I can build my empire with.
Oh,
a queen for my empire. Like,
yeah, your MLM drops.
Yeah, I want to be a power couple. Do you even know what the fuck them?
From where? Like, I've never heard an actual successful person talk like that.
Yeah,
and it's funny because like people like,
yeah, that's true.
Or people on the internet too, because like I don't like to tell people that I do okay. Like, I don't reveal things about my life, but like the way people come to me like, I'm a CEO of a drop shipping business. I'm just like, okay,
yeah.
Am I supposed to like think that you're
a drop shipping business?
You should. I want to impress you. Like, honey, no. Yeah. Get a real job, loser.
No, I hate that shit a lot.
Hate fucking no. If you're like grind, grind.
Yeah, usually you're either like scamming someone because it's always like grind set mindset, but they're like,
or you're susceptible to scams.
Yes, true. Like they're drinking the Kool-Aid, but also the grind set thing is hardly ever like working very hard at one particular skill. It's more like, how can I find a series of loopholes to jump through to get to the top the fastest? Grind set mindset realistically should be going to school and like focusing on your study for 4 to 8 years.
They literally actively tell people not to do school. They're like, it's pointless. Instead, learn drop shipping.
Grind set instead. Yeah.
And also pay for my course.
So, yeah. It's fake.
And the overlap, the Venn diagram of that and the high value dating people is like a perfect circle. And we fucking hate those people. Oh my God.
We do.
Did I tell you? Oh, wait, I think I have told you. The last guy I went on a few dates with before I met Buddy.
You mentioned this, but I want you to say it on the pod because it's so fascinating.
I have shat on this concept because I truly do believe it is just the most unhinged, chronically online, griftery concept ever of this high value dating thing.
Yes, when somebody refers to themselves as a high value man or a high value woman,
and they don't just. It's not just a buzzword that people just colloquially coach types sell people on it. Like, you want to be a high value man, women want to date a high value man, men want to date a high value woman. Buy my course to learn to be it, how to get one. And it's like, it's become this, like, they've created this problem that they've made people feel insecure, created a problem that I don't think exists, and then said, hey, to help you solve it, like, we're gonna give you, like, come buy my course and buy into this and learn all this lingo that's gonna make you sound fucking crazy.
They've misdiagnosed the problem,
exactly.
I think. Yes. Like, clearly there is a problem because it's tapping into people feeling a lack.
They prey on insecurities, sell them on a dream, and desperate people buy it. It's a snake oil scheme. That's part of the poem.
Beautiful.
But, yeah, so it's like, even if someone has noble intentions with it, like, even if these coaches are noble, they truly want to help people, and people that are taking it are nice people who want to, like, are really hoping to just, they see it as like, I want to be honorable, I want to find a nice person genuinely. The lingo and concepts that they teach people to, like, be or get this type of person, like, if you walk outside and you say the phrase high value man in a sentence, people will think you are fucking crazy. Yes. Like, normal people don't talk like that. People will think you're a sex trafficker, or that, like, you're trying to, like, sell people's organs or something like that, or, like, you're trying to put a bounty on people. It's fucking weird.
Yes.
No one talks like that.
Yes. Yeah. I think also there's the problem of, like, none of these people have any, like, qualified expertise. No. Like, you can't... I feel like, haven't we learned enough from, like, motivational speakers and grifters of the like, where it's like, yeah, people who write self-help books and motivational books, like, they're telling you what to do. They are just some fucking guy, just like you and me. This is not an expert on, like, a topic that can be, like, objectively examined.
It's like...
And for them to be like, I know how to do this because... Why? Because I'm so successful?
They're not. They
never are. They never are.
Dude. Like, there was, like, someone who was literally, like, an Airbnb owner who's like, yeah, this person, like, rents my Airbnb and sells people, like, financial courses. And it makes it look like it's his mansion. It's insane. But, like, no, people have said we figured out MLMs already. We've done all the documentaries on MLMs. Like, people that were the MLM people are now trying to sell courses and be coaches.
Bro.
But no, the person I like went on, I think I was like 3 dates in, like I met him out and about when I was like with Ashley and stuff. And so like he was friendly enough, like attractive enough guy who seemed personable enough on the surface, or whatever. And yeah, didn't get very close, but you know, I was like, I had an open mind. I was kind of like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go on a date or two. Fine at first. And then I think it came up, he's like, okay, like what's like weird about you? And I said, I have this goofy ass like TikTok account where I talk about dating. It's kind of dumb and unhinged. Like I was like, I don't talk about my personal life, never have.
Okay.
And then he's like, oh, like you talk about dating, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah. He's like, I got to tell you something. He's like, so I actually like, I was like struggling with dating. So I actually like looked up dating coaches and there was this one that I followed and I know who it is. And I was like, what the fuck? You like
Man, woman?
It was male and female that you work together a lot. He's like, I followed them and I was like, you know, I kind of want to like take their advice or like talk to them one-on-one. But he's like, their course was like $1,500. So I messaged them and I was like, what would it cost for an hour session? So I paid $250 for it. He's like, I wanted to find a high value woman. This woman, she just helped me pick out outfits. Here's the outfit I'm wearing. It looked like a normal outfit that any man could pick out. And he was like, it was just high value. Like then he started saying these like words and I was just like, oh my God.
He thought y'all were on the same team.
Yeah, because I talk about dating, and he was like, I think he like thought we were like kindred spirits.
Like, oh, thank God, you'll understand surely.
I literally sat there, but it was like, don't like nobody take this as a sign that this is an actual word that people are saying because nobody else. I have more friends than I can count. No one talks like this. People will think you are crazy. But I sat there. I was like, oh my God, I found one in the wild. Like. I actually have one right in front of me. I was like a zoo animal.
Freak.
It was like when you go to the zoo and they're like the lions are hibernating. You're not going to see the lions today, and then you get there and then like the lion with the big mane comes out and he yawns, and you're like, I got here the day. Like I was like, oh, like,
one of them.
But like at the same time, I also felt really fucking sad. I was like, this course you paid money for, actual fucking currency.
How did you respond?
I just sat there. I was the date was wrapping up, and
you didn't ask anything about the course. You didn't.
I know everything I could ever need to know about it.
You didn't ask like, what did they teach you?
He told me without me asking. He just talked.
Oh, he just told me.
But like, no. In all seriousness, though, like while I felt bad for him, and like while he might have had other nice qualities, and then I met a way better man who is now my serious significant other of a year and a half since. But like, yeah, like. Just the fact that you could be that susceptible to stuff. It's like, I'm not going to date the main character of The Emperor's New Clothes Part 2. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to come, like, if you will buy if you can be sold a dating coachy course by some of these high value dating people who are obvious grifters, like, what am I going to do? Like, come home one day, like, guess what? I helped a Nigerian prince. I gave him $2,000. It'll come back 2 weeks later, 10 times the amount. Because we're great people. Like, that, like, if you pay for these high-value dating coach types, who's to say you're not going to go like spend money with a Nigerian prince? Or like, and of course people get mad when I say this. I'm going to post a clip for this because I think it's fun to shit on the high-value dating people, especially the coaches. But like, no, like I'm the person in the Emperor's New Clothes who says you are fucking naked right now. Don't look at me as the enemy. I'm trying to help.
Talking about that story.
Don't shoot the fucking messenger. If you say the phrase high-value man or woman in real life. And if you're telling people to do that, fuck you. If you were told to do that and you're doing it, those people are fucking lying to you and they don't care about you. They want your money.
I wonder too if there is like when these courses are being sold, there is some overlap between like tapping into a man's ego and then also tapping into his like need and desire to be loved.
Yeah. Like, they sell them to women too.
I mean, they sell them to women too.
There's some big female ones.
For sure, but I think for women, it's mostly about being loved. Yes. For men, I think a lot of the pitch for these programs is like, it's not about love, it's about status. It's about how it will improve your status and how it will improve. I mean, really, at the core of it is like how it will change how other men look at you and respect you. Mm-hmm. They're not teaching about love,
no,
at all. But I do think that like probably where a lot of this like pain and craving comes from, that drives people to something like a course like that, they are wanting to be loved. It's not that they're like, you know, all alone and just like, I really wish like the boys would look at me and think I looked cool.
No,
like I think people who want a companion, and then it's slowly like morphs into this horrible thing.
And it is sad. Like I don't mean to be mean to the people who have fallen for it. You're better than that. You're better than these grifters aren't better than you. They don't know more than you.
Yeah.
Don't buy their fucking courses.
Don't buy their courses. I mean, that's the thing, is that's how it's so insidious, is like they are taking something so innate and human, which is like the desire to be loved, and alchemizing it, basically. Like they're transmuting your very real emotions into something that it's not, something that's like more aggressive and greedy and self-focused, and like it's a slow change. It's like the frog in the boiling water. It's a very slow change, so like you don't notice it. So you know, you are better than this, and if you find yourself in that situation ever, like you can very easily get out of it. You can very easily get out of like this. Like you just have to realize what is being done to you, but like that's not who you are.
No, you're better than that. Do you want to read one of the questions?
Oh God. A little rough today.
No, you're good. Okay, hold on. You can pick take your pick. Could we get both?
Yeah, I don't even know what you're both. The mailbag, you mean?
Yeah, there's 2 mailbags.
Okay.
They're easy. They're fun ones.
All right. I can't read right now, dude. Okay, hold on.
Turn it to the side.
I'm trying. Okay. Mailbag. Do those who ask for dates day of dating app match only want to hook up? 26 female, recently went on a date with a guy I met on the apps. One of my matches, after some back and forth over a day or so, asked if I'd be free that night for a date. I had just re-downloaded the apps after taking a break. I didn't have anything else to do that night. It was a Tuesday, and I was pretty eager to just get back out into dating, so I accepted. Needless to say, this date sucked. When I first got there, I learned my date had selected the wine bar just below his apartment complex, and he repeatedly referred to it as his first go-to date spot. Please. Where he takes all of his dates. Ew. He kept trying to tell me about new toys, in quotes, technology, art, other random objects that were up in his apartment that I just had to see. After just one drink, he told me that he had way better bottles of wine in his apartment that were free and that we should head up there. He was clearly trying to get me into his apartment, and when I resisted, he gave attitude. The date ended abruptly when I made it extremely clear that I wasn't going upstairs with him. When I retold this story to my female friends, the general consensus was, well, this is what happens when you agree to dates day of. The guys who do that are just looking for hookups. When you agree to those, you're sending the message that you're down for that. So he had different expectations. I never got this memo or knew that this was implied. While the date was agreed to day of, it was in no way presented as sexual. I felt like your typical drinks first date just happened to be happening later that day. I was already dressed cute and out of the house for work. My date did not inform me of how close his apartment was to the wine bar. I just assumed he was taking initiative and picked a cute place. Am I crazy out of the loop on some dating social norm, or did I do nothing wrong here? Thoughts? You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. Yeah. This man is trying this shit with everyone, and I guarantee you it's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working. If you are taking every date to the wine bar downstairs and after one drink trying to drag them upstairs, he's playing a numbers game. Mm-hmm. He's doing the pickup artist thing. He's playing the statistics game, and he's basically like, eventually I'll get one that has low enough self-esteem that will fall for it, or that's just like easily convinced.
Yeah.
But most women are not.
Yeah.
Like, most women are not.
That everything that if
he's giving you attitude, like
normal,
it's not working.
Yeah. Like if it's set up in a way that feels like a normal day, I think dates like the day of, like sometimes that's just how the chips fall. Like,
totally.
I think I've done that, and it was like, well, yeah. When are you free? It's like actually it's Tuesdays are usually the best days, and when do you know it's Tuesday right now? And
yeah, I've totally had like, what are you doing later?
It's not today. It's 2 weeks from now. Like, yeah, let's just do today.
Yeah,
and like sometimes that's just what works. Like, I think that's normal. I think if someone said like, oh, it's the place. Like, have you ever been on a date and you realize it's like the place that's right below someone's apartment, or it's like right across the street?
I'm trying to remember. I've done it. It's fine when I do it though, right? Frasier's, meet me at Frasier's.
Oh my goodness. So I've had that happen. It felt weird because like I think unless they spell it out. Like, you don't say, like, well, where do you live? Like, and then you find out on the date. Like, I had that happen where I got there, and I was like, oh, yeah, like, because usually I ask, like, generally, like, where do you live? And he's like, oh, yeah, this is, like, right below my apartment. And it was kind of like, okay, like, I don't, it felt a little too close to the apartment. Like, I don't know. Or just a little too lazy, where it's like they're a lazy dater, they're making a little too convenient for themselves. Not that you have to, but it just, I don't know. I also know people who have, like, their go-to first date spot guys, or they did. I don't think they would reveal it on the dates, but, like, I knew a guy who's now in a long-term committed relationship, and his go-to was, like, the Opa Greek restaurant. It wasn't below his house, but it was, like, still a block away. But he was like, it's my go-to spot. It never fails me. And, like,
I hate that because I know that the staff is, like, looking and being like, oh, I brought another one. Look at this idiot on a date with the player. But then I also am like, oh, I do that.
I think there's a way to do it in a way that's not playerish. Like, I think there's, like, you have a place that you trust, you know the service is good. Like, because sometimes you can go on a date and the service is bad. And if you have a spot that, like, you know is good, it feels good for dates, you know, maybe they have music or, like, a good happy hour deal or something. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, I choose this over the unknown. Like, some people are just, you know, I like things consistent. I don't like surprises. That's one thing. I think if you're like, this is my go-to first date spot, I take all my dates here, and you're telling people.
Yeah, why would you say that? That's crazy.
Like, I feel like there's some people who just, like, aren't, I don't know. And I think our next listener had a similar situation.
Okay.
Do you want to read this one too, or should I read it? I can read it.
I'll do it.
Okay. Similar situation about not being tactful, I would say.
Oof, okay.
And social norms.
Oh, no. Okay, mailbag. Guy brought up dating other women on second date. Should I communicate why this is rude? I, 30 female, went on a date with a guy, 30 male, and it went so well we immediately planned on a second date. Like me, he had an introverted, nerdy personality, which was great. The next date also went well up until he said out of nowhere that he had been dating multiple women, but I was the one who was granted the honor of a second date. I know he phrased it as a compliment, but it felt a bit uncomfortable and really bad for all the other women. I also felt like he thought very highly of himself and the main decision maker in us dating rather than a two-way street. I had no expectation that people should only get to know one person, but really thought it was in poor taste to steer the conversation in the direction to remind me of it. He asked for a third date, which I'm on the fence about, and have been buying time until I make that decision. If not for the comment about dating other people, I'd no question want another date, but this comment had me a bit soured. Should I give him the benefit of the doubt and go on the next date? Is this just an awkward worded comment I should brush off, or am I correct in thinking this is a sign of a larger personality issue? If I choose not to go on a next date, should I give him the feedback that comments like this can rub people the wrong way or hurt feelings? I say give him another shot and don't give that comment. Like, it's unnecessary to be like, should I, give him feedback that this rubbed me the wrong way? If it really, really bothers you and you're like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. And then he says, well, why not? Then you can tell him. But, like, I'd say I would give him another shot.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should give unsolicited feedback on the way out the door. Like,
sure.
I don't think you're helping people. I think it's, if they ask for it, even if they ask for it, I think saying, I didn't feel a spark is not a lie. It's just a vague way of saying, like, not getting into specifics. Like, I don't think you owe people feedback because people try to debate. But this kind of comment would put me off. I'm like,
really? Dude, it would make me, like, I don't know. If he said that on the second date, go to the third one and then make him realize why he is the one who should be so honored. Like, make him realize, like,
well, then you're going in the date to just prove a point. You're not, like, don't ever go on dates just to prove a point and show somebody, like, the truth.
Yeah,
like,
but I think there are plenty of men who are, like, blinded to the fact that women also are, like, making, like, I think if the dates are going well, you guys are having fun, and then he, like, makes an offhanded comment about, like, yeah, you're the chosen one. Make him realize, like, you need to stand on your business and be like, oh, you're choosing?
We're both.
That's crazy. You're choosing? Yeah, like, let him know that. Let him know that, like, you have to show him why this isn't in the bag for him.
I mean, like, it's I think you would, if you go on the next date, you operate normally, and if he is surprised, if you choose not to go forward with it after that, or if you're not sitting down on your knees like begging for him, or like being like, oh, where's my rose? Like, do I get my rose this week? Like, if he's surprised by that, that's on him.
Yeah.
And if that behavior if he really does have that mindset versus it just being like a doofy attempt at a compliment,
yeah,
it'll show up in other ways probably in the near future. Because I think like it's one of those things where there's some things that people just say that's like meant as a compliment and it just does not land that way. I think anything that like implies like you passed the test or like I picked you over the other people, like as though it's a compliment. No, you won. Okay, cool. Like, so
you won. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like if you
won is crazy. No, I hate that.
Like, it's not like, oh, I'm not here to fight, to quarrel with anyone. Did I just say the word quarrel? I'm not fucking.
I'm not here to quarrel. Aw, Daniel tells me all the time. He's just like, I literally feel like I won the lottery. He's like, I feel like I won a prize.
Yeah. The only time you should talk about winning anything is if you're telling the other person that you won by but with them.
Yeah.
Like, I won by getting to date you.
Yeah.
It should not be like, you won, like, oh yeah, there were a bunch of other competitors, you beat them.
You are so lucky to be with me.
The other nitpicky thing I don't like is when people are like, well, maybe you'll get here if you play your cards right.
If you play your cards
right. Shut the fuck up.
Crazy. Oh, we're playing cards?
We're playing fucking cards? Go fuck yourself.
Oh, we're playing cards. Got it.
Like, we'll see if you pass the test. If anything is framed as like, are you gonna pass the test? He passed the test. Shut the fuck up. I'm not in school.
You won the prize! Being with me. You get to spend time with me, a man.
Anything. Like, anybody
holy shit.
Oh, we're over. And I have septum arms. Everything. Oh my god. Ugh.
Septum arms. That's
Eric,
not
please make this more coherent.
You look great.
You look great. I just look like you look Texas. I look like a.
Well, Texas on my shirt. My Red Bull.
Anything we want to tell people on the way out? You guys can also write your questions in. Some of you guys do. Sometimes we pull from Reddit. But like, sometimes I pull them from my comment section. But if you guys have long form questions that translate better over email, welcome to the peasant party at gmail.com is the way to do that. Some people do that without
discuss, and we will. If it's a letter from a listener, we have to be very mindful of their feelings. We can't.
We always are.
You idiot.
We always are. We tend to we side with our emailers. Yes. Even if it's not advice, if you have a crazy story or just like a weird experience, like maybe you don't need actionable advice, you're just like, is this weird? I love is this weird? Did I miss something type things? Like those are always fun.
It's cute.
Send those our way. We'll fuck with them.
Yay!
Hooray. Well,
Thank you.
We've wrapped for today. Thank you for listening to the Euphemisms. Stay open-minded. Actually, don't.
Stay open-minded.
Bye.